now. So today we will talk about Web Animations API. And just to introduce myself, I am Rodolfo Dias. I'm front-end developer for Outfittery, that is a fashion company. And surprising myself, they have a lot of clients in Switzerland as well. Does anybody here knows about Outfittery? Oh, cool. That's fun. Just to the people that doesn't know, it's Outfittery is about this. No, I don't. Do I have sound here? No. So you can believe on me that, yes.
Don't like to shop, but they do want to look good. For these men, we have the perfect solution, Outfittery. From the center of Berlin's Kreuzberg, our style experts are here to make you look and feel good. This is our secret recipe. Our stylists who will help you with their professional knowledge of style and fashion. They are always there for you, to support you and your appearance. Our stylists choose from the best brands and style your personal box with love. Then send it to you with a personal note. No more carrying annoying bags in crowded malls. Fitting in the comfort of your own home. Style advice and shipping both ways free of charge. Now let us surprise you. Outfittery.com. Shopping for men.
So Outfittery is for you that want to feel and look good. But for start, I would like to invite all you guys to think about the past. And talking about animations, what's the first tool that comes to your mind if you think about 10 years ago? So I would like to all of you guys loud together with me in 1, 2, and 3. No, but you told me that you had lunch already. Come on. Better. Because it seems like this. You are dead. I mean, yes, but Flash. Flash was really good, actually. It was powerful. You could have all the better development experience there, but the problem on it was that Flash wasn't a native technology. So you would force your user to install one Flash player to be able to run your application, like in animation and so on. And one thing that the web platform is doing really well is this thing that a friend of mine told in a conference once. The most famous client-side projects are fated to die. The platform many times see that they have some third-party project that is doing super well, and the platform is behind on it. So what they do, the example with Flash was that the platform came up with Canvas. And now you could do everything that you did with Flash, but using Canvas. And now it's everything native. Your user don't have to install anything. You just need to open it, and it will work perfectly. Another good example was this guy. How many of you guys have used jQuery here? Yeah, almost everybody, isn't it? And the problem that jQuery solved at that time was that the development experience to write JavaScript and manipulate the DOM was really, really bad at that time. And then the platform saw it, and of course they wrapped a lot of good things that jQuery had, and they improved a lot of other things as well. And for example, you can manipulate elements using the document query selector and using that awesome feature from Flash to get the DOM elements, from jQuery to get the DOM elements. And for me, it seems like magic. Like everything that the platform is doing for us. And talking about animations, in the beginning we have Flash, and then the community came up with Green Socks, and it's really awesome. It's really powerful, but still, it's not a native stuff. You have to download a third-party JavaScript to make your application understand everything. And this is the point that we will see today. And just for the beginning, I would like to explain about what's an animation. And let's imagine that we have this chocolate piece here. And I would like to move it to the other side, like this. It will make this timeline here with this transaction, like with this transformation, like from this point in the right side to the left side. And basically, the animation is the process to making the illusion in your brain of motion. And to make it happen, we use like a succession of small images, change it like really quickly that your brain will think that the thing is moving. And how have we been creating animations nowadays? If we talk about like web animations in applications, we have two kinds basically. The first one and most common is like the hover interaction. So for example, if I have my chocolate here once more, and I would like when the user hover it, it become bigger, and then when he leaves, it get back to the previous state. Of course, like many of you guys here know, so you just have to get the elements and use the hover state of it and make the transformation. And to make this transition smooth, you just have to use the transition property of CSS. And it will work like this. It will go bigger and then go back to the first stuff, the first state. But if you think about most complex animations, nowadays you can use CSS animations, more keyframes. And it's a lot better already than Flash, because everything that you are doing is understandable by the browser without any third-part code. So you don't have to download anything. You just open it and it runs. To help me with this, I created this guy here called Snoopy. And to use, you can see that he's like shaking the tail, and also you have this these clouds moving to the side and to the other. If you want to make it with CSS animation, it will be like this basically. You have to get the elements that you want to animate, then define the keyframes that you want to, with all the animation that you want to change, and then just use this animation in the elements that you have already. And I'm just using this property to have this delay with from the first cloud with the second, and here the tail animation. I mean, I would ask to you, what are the problems here? But actually not the problems, but how can we improve it? Can someone help me? Someone, please. Come on, guys. We have 3 main points that could be improved in here. The first is the performance about CSS animation, because still you can ask for the GPU to help you in the processment, but you still have issues with performance in CSS animations. The second point is the development experience, because anyway, if you are creating like CSS animations, you will have a huge CSS file, and it will be a bit hard to understand that. It's a spoiler, no? Okay, it will be a bit harder to understand at some points. And also the behavior manipulation of animations is a bit hard with CSS, because you would have to create CSS changes based on classes, for example. And you still, I mean, you can do it, but it becomes hard at some point. So the thing is, you can do everything that you did already with CSS animation, but using the Web Animation API, and using all the knowledge you have about web animations with Flash or CSS, it doesn't matter. So how could we create the same animation with Snoopy here, but using the web animation API? Basically, I would have to get all the elements I want to animate, then create an object with the animations options that are the same options that we have with CSS animation. Exactly the same, and more some other options. Then you have to create this keyframe effect, and in the first parameter, you have, like this, you have the element that you want to animate. The second parameter, you have the keyframes with the animations the changes that you want to have. And in the last parameter, you have the options for this animation. After that, you have to create an animation and send in the first parameter the keyframes, and after that, ask to attach this animation in the document timeline. And to conclusion, we play this animation. But, you know, it was a huge code only to write animation for the tail, and it's a simple animation. The web animation API has those two kinds of API. This long version and also a shorter version that's pretty much easier. And I will show all the other examples with this shorter version because it's better. I mean, to create the same animation with the shorter version, you just have to get the element you want to animate, then define the keyframes of your animation, and after that, you still have to create the object with this. I mean, with the animation options. But now, to have it playing in the browser, you only need to do it. Get the element dot animate. And then the first parameter, you send the keyframes, and the second parameter, the animation options. And that's all. You have already your, not anymore, but you would have your animation here already, but with I don't know, 5 lines more or less. And for the other elements, here is the same stuff. You get the elements, you define the keyframes for the clowns, for example, and then you attach it to the element like this. But you know, I showed it, but you didn't see any power of it because it was like a simple animation. The Web Animation API has some properties that will help you to manipulate to get the current information of your animation and things like this. And also, for example, you can have event handlers already done for you. For example, if you want to pause the animation that you are creating, you can only use this method here, and it will pause. You don't have to change any CSS class and those kind of things. And then if you want to play it again, it will work perfectly without any problem. And all that animation options I showed you guys before. And for example, if I wanted now to make Snoopy sleep, and then if I click on his head again, he will wake up like this. Sleeping, and then wake up, wake up. Click again, yes, wake up. What we would have to do, basically, is we still have to get the elements that we want to animate. Then, on his head, I would add this event listener to click, and then call this function here. Basically, this function has this conditional here that if he's awake, I will make him sleep. Otherwise, he will wake up. And get this, to know how is Snoopy now, like if he's awake or not, I'm using this play state property to understand if the tail animation is stopped it's because he's sleeping. Otherwise, he would be awake anyway. And then with these things, I just call this animation here that will make him sleep or awake. I have the keyframes definition again, and for the animation to make him sleep, I would hide the awake eyes, then I would show the sleepy eyes and pause this animation here. And it will make him stop shaking the tail. And to make him awake, it will be the same, but just with the other way around. I will show I will hide the sleepy eyes and then show the awake eyes and play then the tail animation once more. And I don't know how is it here in Switzerland, but in Germany, the dogs are really well trained. I don't know why. I mean, you are in a subway and the dogs behave better than humans actually. And I wanted to have, come on. Oh, come on. Yes, here. And I wanted to make Snoopy smart enough to be like this well-trained dog as well. And for example, now I have integrated the same animation that we had already, but now with the voice recognition API. So for example, if I say, Snoopy, you can sleep now. You can sleep now, Snoopy, please. I mean, sometimes you want your child to sleep and he don't go to sleep anyway. Yeah, but now he's sleeping. And then if I say, Snoopy, you can awake. Now you can wake up. Yes, he will wake up. I mean, he is like understanding now everything that I'm speaking here and the computer understands. And then if he finds the word like wake up or the word like sleepy, he will take the decision on top of these words. Sometimes he doesn't want to wake up, but you know. And another point is about the development experience. I have this here, the example I showed you before, like to click on the head and he will stop or wake up again. But I want to show you about the development experience because, for example, if you want to know how is going all your animation, for example, like if you want to debug it and understand how is everything going, you can use this. You can use this, the debugger from Chrome or for Google, from Chrome or for Firefox, for example, and you can have the manipulation of all animations that are in the screen. For example, you can understand it, and then you can pause it for some reason to debug, and you can play it slower or faster. Another thing is about the support, because, not like this. Yeah, about the support. The Web Animation API is experimental stuff, so most of the browsers are not supporting it yet, but I mean, for mobile browsers, at least, but in the desktop version, you have like a good support already. I mean, Internet Explorer and Edge are not there, but what you can do. And thinking about how can we like share like web animations created with this API, I created this open source project called Web Animation Playground, where you can find like some of those examples, like this Snoopy example and also this other one that's super fun. And if you had created something with this Web Animation API, you can open a pull request here, and I will approve it. Happy. And just to conclude, everything you can find this presentation in my speaker deck. And thank you so much for having me here.